Hello, welcome back to Star Citizen, where you may be wondering where the hell am I today? This is actually the hangar. I know, if in case you've seen my hangar before, it usually looks a lot different. Yeah, I mean, the ship is probably a little bit familiar to you, but was the hangar so bright the last time? Wasn't it like really dark and industrial and stuff? Yes, it used to. However, these days I have a special ship in the hangar because CIG decided to throw all the players a bone and gave them their new and so far biggest ship to just sit around in every hangar these days so that you can take a look at it. So let's actually take a look at this ship. Let's do some spaceship porn. Yeah. The ship we're actually walking toward is the ship that I'm talking about. It's called the Starfarer. When it was first concept sold about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that, it was designed to be a sort of tanking ship of a sort of similar size to the constellation that we've already seen in my videos. So, but it turned out to be a little bit different. It's quite a bit bigger than the constellation. It also needs a lot more people. But first, let's take a look at it from the outside. We see here we have a sort of the bridge, or what on smaller ships would be called the cockpit, is the bridge here that we can see here from the outside. We'll also go in later, but first let's take a look at it from the outside. It also has some really big guns at the side that I don't want to be targeted anywhere near my ships because they're almost as big as some of the ships that I have. Anyway, in order to get a better view of it, let's actually go upstairs. This hangar here has a sort of lift that we can use. Revel and York hangar. Why I have this hangar is also because of this ship. Because my normal industrial hangar, which is very basic, doesn't have a large enough bay to fit this ship. But the Revel and York hangar has one. So everyone has already has also been graciously given a look into this Revel and York hangar, who has a lot of glass and wood and plastic and a very luxurious feel, I might add. It's really kind of nice, to be honest. Don't you just want to sit down and fire some people from your business? Yes, that seems like a thing to do. Anyway, let's take a look at it from upstairs here. We can see the bridge here that I already mentioned, and then we can see a turret on top there. I actually can't zoom here, so not we see a turret. I'm looking right at it now. It's sort of the big top turret that the ship has. The ship also has 2 more smaller turrets at the backside that we'll see once we get there. So this is the view from on top of it. Let's also take a look at the side view, because here's also a small platform where we can take a look at it from the side. No, I'm not gonna jump down. I doubt I actually can jump down, but I'm not going to. So this is the ship from the side. It's from Musashi Industrial and Starflight Concern, or also known as MISC. It looks pretty nice from the outside. Very shiny. That's one thing that bothers me a little bit. It looks very shiny and polished from the outside. But I digress. Let's actually go back. Oops, I clipped through here. Apparently you can't die in your hangar. Okay, that has never happened. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, as I said at the beginning, this ship was originally designed as a tanking ship, and it still is that, though it's a little bit bigger than it was usually than it was envisioned as at the beginning. There's also these 2 additional turrets that I mentioned earlier here at the ends of these strouts here. Other pirates, please take note that there's no turret on the underbelly of this ship. There's only these 2 at the back and the one on top, and that's it. So, in case you want to attack this ship for some reason, yeah, you can think of a reason yourself, you probably want to approach it from below and pretty much central, because then the turrets here in the back can't really hit you. The main guns at the front might not be able to hit you, and the big badass top turret also can't hit you. So just saying, yeah. I've taken notes of the tactical feasibility of the ship. This seems to be having a pair of class 2 laser repetier blasters, maybe class 3. I can't really make the distinction from here, but those turrets are okay. The one on top is probably really good, but I digress. There's actually 2 ways you can enter this ship. Only one you can use here in the hangar, so let's actually use that. You may notice there's a sort of entry here, which you can activate by using this access panel here. And take note of the caution, keep clear, so let's actually just stay to the side of it and watch what happens. There's a ramp coming out. Whoops. Okay. That would have been nice if I were just standing here and then these things would have hit my face. Anyway, here you can enter the ship and go to what I'll call the lower deck, where here you can store your freight. Yeah, it's a tanking ship, and its main function is to refuel other ships, but it also has a pretty big room for freight and all these things that you can load into these designated areas here that are sort of designated here via these panels and the markings. So it can also transport stuff. Talking about stuff, I mentioned earlier that there's also another way into the ship, which is via here. It has a docking collar here, so if you have a smaller ship which also has a docking collar, like for instance the RSI Aurora, for instance, has some of these. You can probably at some point in the game just dock with it via these collars here, and then you can enter it from here. But you can't enter it without a ship from here. You can just leave if you really want to get out quickly. So this is also probably a way to get here. Not really sure what the rest of the room is actually for, because it does seem to have some emergency kits and that stuff. Maybe it's sort of a miniature med bay. I'm not sure what you're supposed to store in this room here. Maybe prisoners, people. Not sure. Not entirely sure what the function of this room is. If any one of you knows, then I might actually be interested to hear about it. Anyway, but that's almost about it for the lower deck. There's also additional seats here. Not sure what for. I mean, I guess you could load the ship with a lot of soldiers and then just have them wait here and then try to do landings with the ship, I guess. So in this way you would sort of use this as a sort of command and control vessel that can also refuel your smaller fighters, so might actually be a thing to use in the UAE. So for that reason you probably have these small seats, because normally if you just use it with a crew of about half a dozen people, you probably don't need all of them to sit down here. But anyway, this is the freight room, lower deck, so let's actually go to the next one that I'll call center deck. No, main deck. Let's call it main deck. From here you sort of have a walkway all around the freight room where you can have a good look at it, or defend it if there's some pirates coming in, and you can stand here with your guns and take shots of them from a higher elevation point. Yes. You also can access the outside from the ship from here. Yes, this is sort of a what I'm sort of looking for a word here. Yeah, this is an access room for exterior access. Basically, from here you can go to the outside and walk around the refueling stations here. I guess if some ships are being refueled by you, then someone from the crew of the ship here has to go to these control panels and say, "Yep, he gets so much fuel, and he's gonna pay that for it." Yes, or he's not gonna pay for it. I don't know what your arrangements are, but from here you can basically access the fuel tanks. Alright, let's get back in. The ship is fairly symmetrical, though there are some things that are not. It's very symmetrical only when it's not. Does that make sense? Anyway, before I go up, let's actually take a look at it from here. I guess from here you can sort of use some freight cranes in order to move the freight around. I guess that's what the control panel is for. So you can control the freight room. Also, by going further here, you actually get to the bridge via a room with a lot of escape hatches and probably escape pods and all that stuff. So as you can see, there's 3 on each side. So I guess there's for half a dozen people there are enough escape pods. If you have more people, then too bad. Someone needs to die, no problem. And you can get to the bridge here, which has sort of two control stations here. Not sure why the lighting is going off. Only seems to go off if I move the camera to specific angles. Interesting. Anyway, I have two control panels back here. A big badass captain's seat here, and of course a pilot and a co-pilot sit here. Which I'm not actually sure how much they see. I mean, I guess you can make use of sort of a lot of information terminals and heads-up display and stuff, but really the visual area is pretty small. I mean, windows are structural weaknesses anyway. Yes, I know, but it's pretty interesting that here you really have a problem seeing stuff, just visually, not with sensors, but just pure visually. Anyway, but we're not finished yet. There's actually also an upper deck. Let me first check real quick if I missed something. I don't think I did. Yeah. Okay, then let's go to the next level. Stick it to the next level. There's actually ladders here which are sort of oversensitive. If you just walk near them, you probably use them by accident. They're like this one. I was not planning to go there. Thank you. Mind your head. Can I actually go through here? Wait, I need to check that out. I haven't really seen that. I came here first. What can I crouch? I can crouch, yes? I can crouch. This is flight on foot. Crouch, slide. No, this is already crouch, but this is not... Shame. I think you can actually just go through here. Not sure what for, but you can go through there. We'll get to see it from the other side in a minute. Let's actually just go here. And then you can go into this room here, which has an access panel to something. Not sure what that's for. Maybe you can make emergency repairs from this room, or you can store your stuff away that you don't want everybody to just happen to drop by. I don't know, something like that maybe. If we continue the way here, we should get to the turrets on the backside of the ship. Let me actually just run through here. Yeah, we can see the ship from the outside here, and now there should be the turrets. Yes. Okay. Good. So there we have the same thing on the other side, so I'm not going over there. Is there another room here? Oh, really? There's another one of these small rooms. Interesting. So if you want to play hide and seek in this ship, it's probably a real fun thing to do. Also has escape pods here. Yes. I think these should be escape pods. Survival kits, yeah, those should be escape pods. And what do we have here? We have nothing. Alright. Here we can take a look at the fueling reactors. There's a control panel here where I think you can take note of how much fuel your own ship has and sort of probably work on getting the fuel. I'm not sure if they talk too much about how you actually can produce fuel in the ship, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to produce fuel in this ship, given that you sort of get the materials for it, which would probably be hydrogen or helium or something like that. So you should be able to make your own fuel with this ship. There's also an engineering room here. Not sure why this is open. This doesn't seem very safe to me but I'm not an engineer, I'm only a physicist, not an engineer. Well, good. Here we are on the other side. If I walk down this corridor, I'd get to the other turrets, as I already mentioned. If I go more to the front, and here's another one of these small side rooms. And here we would get down. Guess this is where the ship is not entirely symmetrical, because there's a stairway here on the left side that you can take. On the right side, you can only take the ladders. Yeah, you can only take the ladders here, I think. I'm not sure what these panels are for. The ship has a lot of functions, to be honest. There's a small lift though. I can only go down though, and I don't want to go down. No. Let's go back. What I wanted to show. There was something I wanted to show. If you go to the front here. This is... okay, let's try to get up here. I could have used a ladder. Anyway, this is not the upper... this is basically deck 1, okay? So this has 4 decks, we're now at deck 1. And here we can access the big top turret here by going into the seat here. And it also has a lot of other interesting things around here that you just need for general, you know, crew stuff. Like toilets for both his and her needs. And of course beds. A lot of beds, like 6. And then there's a mess hall where you can hopefully cook at some point. Oh yes. And if you go through here, then you can get to sort of the commander's suite, or the captain's quarters, however you want to call that, where there's a specific bunk and toilet just for one person, and a sort of office where you can sit down and say, "No, I'm not gonna sell this idiot fool. He's gonna kill us all." You know? So there's that. I don't think I've missed too much. I mean, I missed maybe some of these small side rooms, because there's here these... here it is where it's getting really confusing with the sort of levels. I always thought there would be 3 levels, but apparently there's another level below this and between this and the main deck. But basically I've shown you everything. It's really amazing. Has some good panoramic views here too. Interesting. Anyway, this is sort of a look at one of the bigger ships. I probably can't fly it for a while, but it's a really interesting concept to have sort of these bigger ships for about half a dozen people and with everything that you really need. So I'm hoping to see you next time. Have a good one.